Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about people view change through actions, not words. So I do these YouTube lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys find this video content of value, you guys can show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. Details will be in the description. That being said, though, if you guys want to keep in contact with me, ask me questions, feel free to leave a comment below. That way I can answer some of y'all questions. And if you haven't done it already, hit that like, subscribe, share it to your friends, let them know. I like to answer a lot of questions. I like to solve people problems, you know what I mean? That's what I like to do. I teach self-reliance, and I also teach relationship advice. That said, Mitchell, what do? I start out with one recap that I always do. I like to refresh everybody's mind. Hi everybody. I like to refresh everybody's mind. And then I like to talk about four, but today I have 5 slides, and then I have a summary at the very end. So today's episode, like I said, people view change through actions, not words. So let me ask you guys this. When was one of these times where you were trying to see that the person you were with, or maybe as a friend or a family or a coworker, whoever it may be, that they say they will do something, but they end up never doing it? And it's usually like a partner, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be. That's usually what happens. Okay, Sarah, we got Bree, I'm here. Oogie Boogie, yo, what's good? Okay, Chevelin, okay, yeah. So answer that. If you can answer me that. Have you ever been let down before? Okay, and if you have, yeah, my dad is bad for that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry. But at least you get to know what type of person they are, especially if that's how they operate or how they show up. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm trying to figure this out. All right. So my recap video is, so the video is on, or yeah. The title of the episode is, Can People Really Change? Can people really change? And the slide is on removing the fake it till you make it. And I feel like the whole fake it till you make it is me personally, I feel like it's one of those old ways of approaching ideas. And the reason why I personally do not like the whole fake it till you make it is because you're setting yourself up for failure. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're not good at what you are at, it's okay. Be exactly where you are at, and you will become better. But the whole fake it till you make it, you're trying to become someone that you're really not. And so when you are like that, and that's your intention, and that's how you kind of operate, that's usually how you're gonna be showing up, because that's how everything was done. It's like, oh, everything. So remember, I was talking about how lenses get thicker as how you view through life. And if you view through life as, I'm always faking it, eventually when things stop working, you're gonna go back to the whole faking it, and this is how I got through everything. It's like, no, people are very intuitive, especially women. And if they could spot that, like I said, your human body is one of the best machines to detect whether or not that person is real or not. So, which is why this is so important, to just be, not just be yourself, but become a better version of yourself. And if you're not there yet, fine, but at least try and operate from there. And practice, like even with this, I was very, very uncomfortable in front of a camera before. Still maybe am sometimes, but I'm improving, and I'm okay with that, and I'm enjoying the process. Okay, now so that's pretty much what I just said. I haven't read everything in here, so but let me do this, okay? So however, it says it sets up a negative tone, where the whole fake it till you make it is great if you're trying to stay motivated, but being something that you're not, it's difficult to be someone that you are not. And the thing is, it's not lasting. So what you want is lasting change, not just temporary change, right? Which is why what we're learning now, it's more of a philosophy. These are things that you could operate from. No matter where you are at in life, this is how you operate, because this is your philosophy. This is how you view life. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Okay. Okay. If you're looking for happiness, faking it won't get you there. Happiness isn't faking it won't get you there. Happiness isn't a destination. You have to actively create happiness by focusing on your emotions, right? Learning emotional self-control, which is key. Person's quality of life, focus on the three things: improve satisfaction and overall well-being. Okay. All right. So the first, let me read out some of the slides that I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. So the first slide is going to be reality through actions. Number 2 is people who are devious are good at hiding themselves or hiding their true intentions, right? Or hiding what they. I'll explain later. Solution. Solution to sunk cost fallacy. Okay, I'll explain sunk cost fallacy, and that's more of an economic term. Okay, behavior speaks more than truth and consistency. So I do have one extra slide that I'm going to be talking about today. So I get to hang out with you guys a little bit more. You know what I mean? I get to hang out with you guys. I get to read your comments. But yeah, okay. Moving on. First slide. Reality through actions. Reality through actions. So Andrew Carnegie once said, and there's 2 quotes that I have from Corey Wayne and Andrew Carnegie, but this one's from Andrew Carnegie, and it says, the older I get, the less I listen to what people say, and the more I look at what they do. Andrew Carnegie. And in the beginning, I used to always believe that, hey, someone is capable of change, and it is true, but what I noticed is it's very temporary. And just like the advice that I give you and you're picking these up, I want you guys to carry this through your entire life, where this is, if you want to become better, you're only going to stay consistent. But if you are going to stay consistent, how are you going to enjoy that process? Because if you dread becoming a better version of yourself, you're not going to be consistent, and it's not going to be satisfying for you, and you're only going to revert back, which is why it's so important to find something that truly pushes you and moves you forward. And then eventually you're going to have this thing that just, it's like a gravity. It just pulls you in. You know what I mean? Now, I have another quote by Coach Corey Wayne, and it says, people who are honorable and have integrity say what they mean and mean what they say. People who are untrustworthy and has no integrity will constantly make promises but never follow through on them. And once someone shows the true colors and are devious, but yet you continue to stay with them, you deserve what you get. I know the last part is a little bit harsh, but which is why this is self-reliance. Remember when I was explaining to you guys, everything that has happened to you is because of what happened to you, or what you attracted into your life, right? So let's just say that you allowed this cheater into your life, and it's not exactly what you want. So then you guys break up and you're hurt. Just remember that you allowed this person into your life, and you allowed it to happen multiple times. So usually, and this is how I see it too, usually what happens is when it happens once, you know, the phrase is like, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. But if it happens more than 2 times, it becomes a choice. You deciding that you want to stay. So is that something that you truly want to do? So that's a really important question that you want to ask yourself. Do you want to stay in this? And then, you know, if you guys stick around long enough, I will explain about the sunk cost fallacy, which is going to help explain why we stay into relationships that is no good for us. Okay, but that's later on. Anyways, people's actions reveal true intentions and feelings. For example, if little things gets brushed off, remember those are people's consistencies or inconsistencies, right? That's what they do, and that's how they operate. If you just ignore those are little tiny red flags that adds up to something bigger. And if they're going to lie about the small things, chances are they're going to lie about the bigger issues. That's usually what happens. And you know, a good example or a good way to see how how they are is to see how they treat other people. Watch how other people treat other people, not just you, because maybe you guys might be in this phase where you guys are falling in love. You see all the great things about each other, and that's important, right? Because who doesn't want to feel loved? But at the same time, it's because they want to get to know you. Maybe they want a little bit more from you, whether it's maybe it's your love or maybe it's your body, whatever it is. Whatever it is, how you could judge a person is based off how they treat other people, not just you, because they just might want something from you. Like I said, love, whatever. Yeah, all that great stuff. Now, when others tell you something, but then followed by incongruent actions, it is now your decision to make a choice. And I would like to ask you guys two questions. When someone says they're gonna do something and they end up not doing it, you want to ask yourself questions for yourself, and this is how you self-reflect, and this is how you become even a better person for yourself too. So then you learn to screen people out, you learn to vet people, right? Do I want to be around someone like this? Do I personally want to be around someone like this? Is this going to benefit me, right? Which is the second question. Am I going to benefit from being around someone like this? Is it beneficial? And if it is, you want to ask yourself why. Because no amount of misery is worth being around a certain person. Like, you could get ideas from other people, but being around someone that just drains you just because they have something to offer you, to me, that's not enough. I will need to understand you. We're gonna have to at least be on the same page about something. You're not going to talk to me with disrespect, yada yada yada, all the other jazz. That's me. I prefer to live a less drama life, drama-free zone. That's what Coach Corey Wayne always says. Live a drama-free zone. That's it. You do you, I'll do myself. It's fine. That sounded wrong. Anyways, slide number two. Slide number two. People who are devious are good at hiding themselves. Now, have you ever noticed that when people are good at what they do, you find out much later? And the reason why is because this is how they always operated. Drama-free is the best. It is. That's how they operate. And so if that is how they operate, what's going to happen? They need to be good at hiding themselves, because if they get revealed, everybody, or exposed, everyone's going to find out. And when that happens, they're not going to have anyone left. So eventually they got to start picking up all these things like, oh, I might need to say this. Let me say something nice to her. You know what I mean? And women, they're very emotional creatures. Not to say you're creatures, but just very emotional people, right? Women are a little bit more emotional. They tend to they tend to focus on the feelings a little bit more feelings involved, okay? But I do want to start out with this quote by Maya Angelou, which is, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Believe them the first time. So for example, you guys are on a date, okay? And this is an example that I've always been using. You're out on a date, and let's just say they treat the waiter/waitress bad. That's usually a telltale sign of whether or not that person, because someone with respect that respects themselves, they would treat everybody with respect. Everybody. It doesn't matter who they are. They could be a janitor, they could be just a busboy, whatever it is. They're gonna treat everybody with respect. And here's a quick little story. I remember I was just sitting there eating, and I was with like some friends, right? And their friends, my friends brought their own friends, and we chopped it up. We had a good time. And I was actually kind of interested in this person that sat across from me. And we were just talking, and what ended up happening was, at the end of the whole dinner, as we were sitting there, I personally, this is what I like to do. I like to start stacking my own plates. The reason why is because it makes me feel, I don't know, I like it. I don't like that how, if I could do my part, great. It doesn't matter about you guys. But then what ended up happening was, person across from me, she was like, why are you doing this? Like, it's their job. And I was like, I know it's their job, but I like doing this. And if I can make their life a little bit easier, they're gonna have hope at the very least that, like, hey, there is some good people out there. You know what I mean? And I'm not just doing it to seek out good people, you know what I mean? But it's because that's how I like to operate. I want to make sure that whatever's easiest for them too. If I can do it, and I'm just sitting here, I'm not really doing anything. But anyways, that was a turn off for me. I was like, nope, I don't want to be a part of that. But spot out those people that are being rude to other people. Okay, be careful with that. Now, first bullet point. This is because, okay, this is because this is how they always operated, and they need to know how to hide it well so their identity doesn't get exposed. What you can focus on are patterns. Patterns are a very, very good way of spotting out people, because usually it's really hard to be someone that you're not. You know what I mean? It's really difficult to be someone that you're not. So especially if you're gonna be in front of someone, talking to them for about an hour to two. Like, if you spoke to me, let's just say I'm shy. Okay, sometimes I get a little bit shy, but let's just say Mitchell's not shy today. And if you're talking to me, this is who you're gonna get right here. This is who you're gonna get. But let's just say you're getting this, hi, even sitting like this is very uncomfortable. To sit like this for 2 hours, it's not realistic. So imagine putting up this facade, this fakeness of a person that they want them to perceive. Like, I want you to perceive me as this whatever, right? I'm trying to flex. I don't have a lot of muscles, but you know what I mean. You know what? It's like it's gonna be really difficult for me to do that consistently for 2 hours. Okay, so watch for patterns. Look out for patterns. So that's a good way of screening out people. And ask yourself, how often have they done this? How often? Now, if this person's new, you just met them, not much that you can do about it. But if you see them multiple times and this is always how they kind of operate, well, that's usually it's gonna end up happening to you, right? So how often does this happen? Now, how many times did they say they will do something but never follow through? Like, remember that. This is a short topic, Mitch. What do you mean by that? I don't think this is short. I'm still on my second slide. I have 5 slides total. Okay. How many times have they said something and never followed through? And what excuses are you giving them? What excuses are you making for them so that you stay in that whatever relationship, friendship, family, whatever? Just remember that you have a choice. You are your own person, so that if you don't feel comfortable being around that person, you have a choice of not being there if you don't want to. And that's why Thich Nhat Hanh did, he said, you must love in such a way where the person that you love feels free, where everything is allowing. Love is allowing. Love is giving. Love is about giving. So the moment that you go into a relationship or anywhere, any type of relationship, and you're there to take, and you're there to just take and take and take, that's not a relationship. You're there to give. Just remember the beginning of the relationship. What happens? You always did everything to give to them, right? You dress the best, you look your sharpest, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you would do your best for them, and then eventually the lens starts to focus on yourself. And when the lens starts to focus on yourself, that's when you start losing the relationship, and that's usually what happens. Okay? And men out there, if you stop courting your woman, another guy will. So remember that. If you stop dating your woman, and I don't care if it's 5 years, 5 days, 10 weeks, whatever, 20 years, if you stop dating and courting your woman, another man will. And you got nobody else to blame for that. Moving on. Lastly, what excuses are you giving them or making for them? Okay, and they're gonna say some things to make you feel bad about not being there, right? I remember I was not eating meat, and they were like, "Oh, you can't survive." I was like, "I know plenty of people that survived. Like, don't trip." And it came to a point where I felt uncomfortable being there. I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna show up. And they said a lot of things and I didn't care. I'm like, oh well, that's how you feel about it. Oh well. It's not like I was forcing them to do anything. All I did was I showed up and I said, I just don't want to eat meat right now because I want to eat plants. That's all I said. I didn't say you can't eat meat. I said I don't want to eat meat. All right. Now, people can usually lie about things they say. We may be fooled first time, but if it happens more than 2 times, it becomes a choice, and that's your choice. So remember, what is your choice? Okay, what is your choice? And the choice may be because you're emotionally invested. Okay, and when you're emotionally invested, and like a person you like, but you know that's not good for you. And this is the term that I was talking about earlier on. In economics, this is known as the sunk cost fallacy. SUNK cost fallacy. So sunk. It's all, and this is the reason why most people stay in poor relationships. All right, let's see. I cut off people who didn't have integrity and say they would do, but didn't. They would do, but didn't do. Okay. These are friends that you know of, or I'm assuming, and don't force it if it doesn't fit because it will not make you feel good. Yeah, and it's like you're trying to force something that doesn't want to be there. It's like they're eventually they're gonna be resentful. But if it's their choice and they want to be there, it's their choice. They want to stay, and allow them to do whatever they want. Now, like I said, you're still going to set and enforce healthy boundaries. So they're not going to cross your line, nor are you going to force them to do anything that they don't want to do too as well. Okay. Now with the sunk cost fallacy, money, time, and effort previously invested have a significant impact on influencing people to stay in unhappy relationships. Money, time, and effort. And it's usually time and effort. The money is not really so much of an issue. I'm assuming it's usually because money, like you don't really think about the money as much when you're not in that relationship anymore. It's usually like, oh, this person hurt me. Remember I was talking about betrayal? And when I was talking about betrayal, like that's usually one of the most painful things that anybody could experience. Is because the only way to become better from that is actually through time. And you can't speed up time. And so what most people do is they drink the life away or they find whatever. That's what most people do. But either way, you're eventually, well, hope, eventually you're gonna get out of that situation. But how I see it is how you show up to those obstacles or whatever days that you are having. How do you show up? Do you want to show up and just, shove your face with a whole bunch of junk food and alcohol and maybe drugs? Or you're going to go out there, do whatever is best for you, follow your mission and purpose if you're a guy and woman, follow what you want to do and go for what you want and be good at that. Because excellence is not a singular act, and you have to be consistently doing what you do to be better at what you do. So like I said, show up and glow up. Exactly. And it's because it's like I said, like I was really, really bad at communicating, especially on camera. I was really, really shy. Okay, I was really shy. And people was like, no, but like Mitchell, you're such an outgoing person. I was like, yeah, it is. It's only because I'm comfortable with you. I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. But eventually what ended up happening was I started doing it more, and I got more consistent, and I built more confidence. All right, let's see. In any relationship, continue to feed people's ego. Don't continue to feed people's ego. Yeah. True. Clean up the toxics from life. Exactly. So like, now if it's family and stuff like that and there's no way to get away from it, you could still set boundaries for yourself and just be like, hey, look, this is how I want things to be done, and if you don't like it, then oh well. It's not your choice, because like any relationship, it won't work if it's just one way, right? Which is why you see a lot of it. Usually it's men, right? Usually it's like, especially because the whole Hollywood, you got to keep chasing her and I got to say certain things, aka illusion of action. and they feel like they have to do something to get her back. Like, no, just sit back, hang tight. If she values you, she will come back. If not, you pursuing that right now is not going to make her want you more. Okay. Chevelin, you said it is the quality and effort that matters the most. Money is just a material things that can disappear, but the quality and the effort you put in will give a lot of value. Exactly. So most people don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. So if you made them feel a certain way about themselves, whether it's maybe it's like this, where like, wow, like I want to become a better person or whatever, right? Or maybe you remember a joke that someone said that was really funny, but you don't remember the joke, but you just remember that that person is a funny person. I don't remember the joke, and then you're just gonna be constantly thinking about it, and you're like, yeah, that person's funny. He or she is funny. You know what I mean? You will always remember how they made you feel. Is your favorite author? Oh, great. So you know what quote I'm talking about, right? Should I say it again? I should say it again. All right, let me say it again. When someone when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Okay? Believe them the first time. Emotions and feelings have a lot to do with how someone is. Yeah. All right. So I want to talk about the sunk cost solution. Solution to the sunk cost fallacy. And if you guys are interested and you guys are watching this on YouTube, you're watching it on your computer, in the description, I left a link for you guys. Mitchell thought in advance. I left a link for you guys. There's that link for sunk cost fallacy, and the solution. This is where I got it from. So, and I thought I'd share it with you because I did a little bit of research. I'm like beep beep beep, and this is what I found. And it says solution to sunk cost. So if you find yourself saying things like, "We just been together for so long," right? I don't want to just give up. Like, we've been together for 10, 15, 20 years, right? We've been together for so long. I invested so many years and we worked so hard at it together, and I see some improvement or whatever. Or we just have so much history. Then you may be a victim of the sunk cost fallacy, because you feel like the time you invested. Okay. Okay, so from here, I'm going to be reading the solutions and stuff. So I won't be reading any of your comments right now, but I will get back to it. All right, I promise. All right, so solution one. Okay, solution number one. So this is how you approach this sunk cost fallacy. If you find yourself saying things like, we just been together for so long or whatever, this is a solution. And solution number one, which is, and it's on the site. If I had not invested X amount of years of my life in this person and given everything that I know about them now, would I still choose this person to still be in my life? Will I still choose to be with this person right now if I did not invest this many times? So it allows you to step back and look at what you value, right? Which is why you should never compromise your core values in life. And if you value communication, if you value integrity and loyalty, these are something that you can always go back, and that is how you're going to operate through life. And sometimes when you're in that relationship, you're all the way 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, however many years or months, and you're getting stuck there, it's easy to be clouded with ideas. But if you allow yourself to ask yourself this question and you pull yourself back, that's where you could operate from a place where you're operating from, what are my values? And am I willing to compromise for that? And then if you do compromise your values, just remember that it's going to go back on you. And the moment that anybody ever sees that you compromising your own core values, they're not going to respect you. And if they don't respect you, they're not going to fall in love with you. Bottom line. And respect is to be earned. It's not given. It's to be earned. And if you compromising your own, especially something so important, they're not gonna value you. They're gonna see you as like this doormat. Like, I broke them once, I will break them again, and it is possible because I know it. Okay, but that's solution number one. Um, Solution number one also, my bad. I want to explain this. This is also so this solution number one is asking you if the current cost outweighs the current benefits. Does it outweigh it? I think there was an example, and you could read it online. They were talking about, let's just say you booked a flight to wherever. Okay, let's just say Florida. Okay, for the summer. Okay, and you know that you just injured your leg, so you're not going to be able to walk, and you know that there's a lot of things going on out there, and it's not the best time to go there, but your ticket is no longer refundable. So going there is not going to be, so if you don't go there, you're going to be like, well, I already put in so much money, I'm not going to get it back. But by going there, you know you're not going to have a good time. It's not going to be good weather. You're going to be miserable while you're there because you're injured. So that's where most people be like, well, if I stay home, if I were to stay home, I know I will have a better time technically, where it's technically a more rational choice to stay home because you're injured. But yet a lot of people overlook that. And why do we choose the more irrational answer? And it's usually because of the sunk cost fallacy. Is because we already put in, whether it's time, money, or effort, and that's usually it. But in a relationship, it applies the same thing. Where why do we choose to stay in a relationship longer than we should? And knowing that it is not good for us, why do we still do that? It's because usually, and how humans, how we operate is, we operate from a place of familiarity. And when we operate from that, we usually go back to it. We usually just go back to something and that's why you see or you hear stories of people going back to bad relationships, like they beat their girlfriends or whatever, right? And they're just very verbally abusive or physically abusive, but yet they go back. And that is part of the reason why. It's because of this self-talk that they're saying to themselves. Now anyways, I know Mitchell has said a lot. I want to go on to solution number two. Okay, and I think you guys will like it. I liked it a lot. There's more on that site if you guys want to click that link right now, but I'm just going to be talking about it. Okay, so solution number two, and how you know you're a victim. So answer A. I need to stay because I have invested so much time and effort into this relationship. Let me repeat that one more time. Answer A. I need to stay because I invested so much time and effort into this relationship already. So that's why I need to stay. Answer B, or answer 2. I want to stay because we've grown so much and overcome so much together in the years we've been together. And you're like, okay, Mitchell, what's the difference? Aha, let me answer that right now. Okay, both answers value the past investments and relationship history. One focuses on how much you've lost, and the other focuses on how much growth you guys have gained. That's the only difference. So if you find yourself saying that, this is it. Neither one of this will give you your time back. Just remember that. Your time is already gone. You can't get it back. But you can at least choose now on whether or not you want to have a better or happier future. That's what you can have. So whatever is that's already gone, you just got to let bygones be bygones at that point. But then you have to understand, like, am I going to benefit from this in the future? Is this going to be beneficial for me in the future if I were to stay longer? And that usually, if you have to ask yourself this type of question, it's usually no. It's usually no. Unless there is a specific plan and this consistency from this person is very genuine and they mean what they say and they say what they do. That said, I am going to read your comments now. All right, let's see. Emotions, feeling has a lot to do with how someone is. Yep, exactly. It gives you the memory. Some people say nice stuff to make themselves look yummy. I like that vocab. You got vocabs. Okay, yummy. And in front of that person, they're just crushing them. They're not genuine whatsoever. I've seen red flags when I've tested the water twice. So I didn't go further with the possibility of friendship because I couldn't trust a person like that. What were some of the red flags that you spotted? And these are good because when you start spotting red flags, you're building yourself a good habit. And when you build it, and we know anything about habit, the more you do, the more confident you become, especially when you're building a habit. And I feel like not enough people do this, but when you're building a habit, especially believing your own voice, you're building your self-confidence for your own voice so that you can start operating from like, this person I should probably stay away from, like this, something feels not right. But most people, what they do is they tend to look to another person to ask them about a certain thing, and it's because they're insecure about their own choices. They're not even confident from their own choices. Now, if you have questions about a certain someone, you're just curious, yeah, that's fine. But know how you're operating from. Are you operating from a place of strength, or are you operating from a place of weakness? Because operating from a place of strength and you're just curious about a person, then you can ask questions. But if you're operating from a place of weakness and you're asking questions because you're uncertain of your own choices, then that's something that you need to work on for yourself. And that is what self-reliance is. And that's why I want you guys to build a healthy habit for yourself so that when you start making your own decisions, you're going to be confident in your own decisions. And once you make a wrong choice, which will happen, you're still going to be like, okay, where did I mess up on? How did I let that slide? And how do I prevent that from happening again? Okay. So that is the sunk cost solution to sunk cost fallacy. Now I do have 2 more slides I'm going to be talking about. Do you guys have any questions for me before I continue? Because Mitchell has been talking a lot and I'm going to be talking some more. So it's not like it's going to change. All right. Let me know. Let me know. So, all right. The last 2 slides. So second to last, behavior speaks more truth than words. Okay. And you can always see where they end up. You can always see where they end up. If a person said something but then doesn't, it's like at the end of the day, you could trace it back to their actions. You could trace it back to the actions. There could be many reasons why they are the way they are, right? And they may have high interest, but then when the excitement and everything in that new relationship that you have, or you're just seeing each other and you're all the excitement's high, what happens when it calms down? Because it's going to calm down. What happens when it does calm down? Okay. So usually what happens is most people get a little bit complacent. They're kind of like, oh, I'm used to you. You're not going nowhere. So I could just treat you how I treat other people. I could just do that and you won't leave. That's usually false. Most people would leave. Okay. And so usually what happens is their respect for you kind of starts to decline, right? And you know, for men, this is where I always get, like, men take the lead. Men takes the lead. Bottom line. If you're a masculine man and you're dating a feminine woman, take the lead. Date her. And if you stop dating her, like I said, another man will date her. And listen. Date her and listen to her. Date and listen. I know it might sound like it's a lot of work, dude, but eventually, if you don't do it, then why are you in a relationship in the first place? If you're not going to date her, then don't be in a relationship. Because remember, when you are in a relationship, you're going to have responsibilities. Just because it's like saying, oh, I want a car, but I don't want to do anything after I buy it. Like, no, that's absolutely bogus. You have to do a whole lot. You got to make sure there's maintenance and all this. What makes you think that being in a relationship, you could just, oh, I got her already, I don't need to do anything, all I need is for her to sleep with me at night and I'll be great? Like, okay, well, you got to do other things building up to that. Okay, pick that up, dude. All right, Now, like I said, I already talked about respect, but as respect goes, respect can only be earned and not given. And someone who respects you will show you through their actions, but not by buttering you up. Smooth like butter. Okay? Not like that. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna butter you up. And just remember, look for patterns. If these are the type of people that always constantly say a lot of things to butter you up, reflect on that. All these buttering up, how many times did it actually go through? How many times? And how many times did it not go through that left you in disappointment time after time? And if that's consistent, then that's a pattern. So I want you guys to spot that. And when you can spot that, then you become more confident in your own choices. And when you're more confident in your own choices, you're like, this is great. I could operate for myself. It's not that I don't need anyone, but I want to be with someone that will benefit me. We're complete and we share the same core values. Oh my God, love story. Okay, now that's Hollywood, but Hollywood would not play that because it's boring. There's no drama, and drama is usually how we stay in tune and keep watching, right, Sarah? Right? All right. Okay. Now, and also, lastly, with respect, this has to be from them and their perception of you. Do they respect you? If they don't respect you, that's it. You're done. So, which is why it's so important to be able to walk away from things, especially if that's not the term that you want, right? Let's just say we're in a relationship and you tell me, one of you ladies be like, hey Mitchell, you know, it was great, whatever, right? And I don't want to be with you no more. And I'll be like, cool, all right, if that's how you feel about us, right? Then that's fine. But that's not where I want. That's not what I want. And but you said, oh, but I want to be your friend. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why? It's because I still have romantic feelings or whatever, right? It's still because I feel a certain way about you, which is why I'm not going to just be your friend. As much as I want to, I'm not going to, because I have self-respect for myself. And you might not like it. You might not like it, but you will respect my decision. Even though if you're like, F you, Mitchell, I wanted to just be your friend, and fine, all right. And then usually what happens is you go out, you start dating, and you're like, people are not that great. Mitchell, how you doing? And by then, at the very least, I have my own options of my choice on whether or not I want to get back in that situation or in that relationship. So that's why respect is to be earned and not given. Okay? All right, let's see. Let's see, what else do I have? As respect goes, Okay. Look beyond on how they treat others, because there's a big chance that that's how they're going to treat you. And how often do they say something that end up doing another? Okay, I got that. View them through their actions and not words. Okay. So, I want to talk about consistency, and this is how you could become a better person with consistency. And I know everyone that's in here or everyone that's watching this on a replay, you're here because you want to become a better person. And becoming a better person is not a quick fix. Just remember that. It's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a lot of consistency, and it's going to feel like it's a lot of effort, but it's not going to feel like a whole lot of effort if you're enjoying the process. So what do you have to say, Mitchell? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me explain. So with consistency, others usually what will happen is when they see a big change that happens, when they see a big change, they're going to test you. No matter what, they're going to test you. It might not be right away, but they're going to test you. They're going to see if you are who you say you are, especially if you're going to change. Now, here's a prime example. When I decided that this is what I want to become, and this is who I resemble, this is how I see myself. Now, I know I'm skipping ahead, but this is my identity now. I identify myself as this person where what are your core values? What are you not willing to compromise? And I'm not going to let people say certain things to me. Like, you are not going to cross my boundary. I don't care who you are. You're not going to disrespect me. And that's who I was. And so that's where I operated from. And usually, and like I said, most people, they started testing me. They're like, is Mitchell who he really says he is? And then when they started testing me, and I don't mean this by like, oh, this is like, oh, Mitchell thinks he's all that. But when they did test me, they kept testing me. And I was like, yo, why are you saying things like this? They was like, well, you, in their mind, this is like, well, you used to take all the BS that I give you, but now you're not. They didn't say it, but I see it in their eyes and I see it through their actions. It's because they kept doing it. So I judged them by their action. And I was like, look, if you're gonna keep talking to me like this, we're not gonna talk. Bottom line, we're not going to talk. And if you're going to continue to do that, eventually, you're just gonna have to do your own thing on your own self. Like, just leave me out of it. First of all, no trouble, no drama. I don't want to be involved. You do your thing, I'll do mine. And there was a lot of people where I had to cut off, and it was uncomfortable for me to cut some people off. And it's like I said, it's not saying that I'm better than anybody. I just don't want to be like, don't cross that line. That's it. Like, I got respect for you, you got respect for me. Just don't cross that line. Bottom line. So they will test you, okay? And they're going to challenge you. And they will put you on a spot, and they're going to try to look for flaws so that to see if you're really who you are, because they don't know whether or not they could really, they're like, this is a big change. Changing who you are as a person, your identity, it's huge. It's huge. It's like, have you ever met someone from like middle school and then later on down like maybe 10 years later, they're very outgoing, but they're very quiet in the beginning? It's like, how are you so outgoing? Like, I'm curious now. But then, so you start talking to them more, then you start asking questions, and then you're asking the stories behind, like, hey, you know what, I noticed you're a little bit more outgoing now. Like, what happened? What changed? Right? So then you're trying to pick out what they're doing that made them change or whatever, right? So maybe it's not a test, but if they fail it, it becomes a test. So it is a test, right? Now, a good way of becoming a better version of yourself is to adopt a philosophy. And this is a philosophy. This is not a tactic. So that's another episode too. If you guys are interested, it's on my Instagram. Okay. This is a philosophy. So this is what you're going to become. This is your identity. By applying who you are to what you do. Okay? That's your identity. Because let's say your outcome is driven. Because let's say your outcome is driven, you are outcome driven, my bad, because let's say you are outcome driven, there's a good chance you will achieve it, but it wouldn't be long lasting. It wouldn't last very long. It would fade away. So which is why you see a lot of people in those yo-yo diets, right? That's a quick example of why people have certain yo-yo diets. It's because they're focused on an outcome. They're not really focused on becoming a healthier person. People ask me, Mitchell, why don't you become bigger, right? I was like, when I get big, I don't feel comfortable dancing, and I feel most comfortable dancing around this weight, and this is what I feel comfortable with. This is what I like. And I don't care to be the biggest, most muscular dude. I really don't care. That's not, I'm also 5'5", so I don't want to be a tree stump. That's my thing. Am I making excuses? Maybe, but I like dancing in the weight that I am, okay? So, now I want to talk about the 3 layers, okay? There's 3 layers, which is outcome, process, and identity, okay? Outcome is what you get. The process is having a routine, okay? Your identity is what you believe. And if what you believe you're going, if it's what you believe, you're going to be more grounded as opposed to just focusing on just the outcome. It's where you operate. Those are your core values. That's how you operate. And so when you operate from a place of having values, your goals are more meaningful at the end. If you're operating from a place and this is your value, you're going to be this person when you achieve it. And then you're going to be way more fulfilled than, oh, I lost 50 pounds. Great. Okay, let me read some of y'all comments right now. Okay. But respect can still be there. Dating is one thing, but if someone never dated, they can be friends. If someone never dated, they can be friends. I have something to explain on that, Sarah. Even if they never dated but like each other, had it years ago, he's my best friend for 13 years. I'm already awesome. Message retracted. Sarah, what you pull back? All right, congratulations, Sarah, because it's rare to have friends more than 2 months. Annie, if you're saying that, if it's difficult to have friends more than 2 months and it's happened more than often, then I want you to look at what is the common denominator. And I'm not saying this to pick you out from that, but it's you like there was a time where a lot of people they didn't like, I don't know, for some reason when I was in this dance place, dancers just don't really click well with me. I don't know what it is. And I at one point I was like, is it because I never really danced officially? And because I'm self-taught, so I don't know how's that. And what I've noticed is usually it's because most people when they're there, they're very kind of more conscious about their movements and whatnot. And I allow them to be them. And the more they could be themselves, the more comfortable they could be around me, the more likable you could become. So I found out that it was most of the time where I felt like when I was around them, they couldn't be themselves around me. So that's when I had to understand, like, hey, Mitchell, maybe you're the common denominator from this. This is, you're maybe you just making them feel a little bit uncomfortable. And if you maybe just pull back just a little bit and allow them to be themselves, yay. And that was it. That was my answer. Let's see. Congratulations, Sarah. Da da da. And I don't. Sarah says I don't have a lot of friends, but I do have some really good ones. I have one for 13 years, 7 years, and 3 years. Come and go, but the one important ones is I continue to reach out. You're still lucky because all mine's gone. I care too much and kind-hearted, being taken advantage of, learning to do this anymore, not to do those anymore. The person gave up promising or reassuring words to be there when needed, but didn't act on the words that were given. It's okay to be kind-hearted and care. I got in with low expectations, but can't be disappointed when they impress and improved me and prove me wrong and become close. Well, I'm not understanding. Well, then again, it's I don't understand the whole story, so I can't really explain on that, Annie. But if it's always you, then it's usually that you might be the common denominator. Now, if you're always constantly being used and taken advantage of, then you might be a person where you're just a selfless giver. Remember that Pareto distribution where there's selfless givers, and there's givers, and there's takers over here, right here, and there's other-ish givers. So when you are giving someone something, you're not just gonna drop everything in a drop of a hat just to help them out, because people tend to take advantage of those situations. But when you just drop everything in a drop of a hat and you do that, that's how they view you. And they're gonna be like, oh, Annie's just gonna be doing this. So then the idea is to not be like, oh, that's it, I'm never gonna do this, because then you close yourself off. And that's the last thing I want from you, is to close yourself off from all the goods that could happen to you. But if you allow yourself to just kind of readjust, just to see where you're at, and it's okay to give, but who are you giving it to, and why will you do it? And it's, do they deserve your time? Because if they keep coming to you and that's all they do, and all they do is take, and nothing is ever offered to you, you don't feel like anything's being like, you're not being helped in any way, shape, or form, then no, I'm not going to always help you. It's like, you're just gonna keep taking from me. So just, and Annie, I do know you're a very kind person, and you like to give a lot, but just be careful on how much you give to a person, because I don't want you to be so far in at one end, and then at the very end, you're gonna be like, that's it, I'm never gonna do this ever again, because then it closes off so many opportunities. And that's not what self-reliance is. It's about being in this place where you can operate in the best person that you can become to achieve the best that you can have. Okay, so let's see. The person, it doesn't matter if you have a lot or if you're friends. What's important is the quality of the friends. Absolutely, Chevelin. I don't expect people to follow through on everything. It gets too disappointing. Just go with the flow and make a decision on them. Yep. Um, True to that one. I'll always be I have now will always be my friends, and one day aunt and uncles to my kids. Okay, so Sarah, there is one thing that I do want to talk about. About you said something about you having a friend, and okay, but respect can still be there. You can still respect that person. Dating is one thing, but if someone never dated, they can still be friends. Yeah, absolutely. And even if they never dated but liked each other, and that's years ago. Yeah, so I do want to elaborate on that because that's very important. Now, let's just say, okay, me and this chick, okay? Let's just say I liked her, she liked me. We never dated, but at one point in our lives, we liked each other, okay? This is her, okay? You guys could give her a name if you want. But if me and her never dated, and I'm okay with being her friend, and she's okay with being my friend, then absolutely. Then it's great. Then it works just fine because we both want the same thing. What I am saying is, if her name's Kiki, let's call her Kiki. If Kiki over here doesn't want, like, she wants me a little bit more, or let's just say I want her a little bit more in a more romantic, I don't want her to be just platonic. I want to be in a romantic relationship with her, but she doesn't want it. Okay, let's just say that. Let's just say that. Then I'll be lying to myself. So every time we hang out, I'm going to be thinking like, should I make my move? Oh, does she like me? Yada, yada, yada. I'm disrespecting my own self. I have no self-respect. And if I don't have any self-respect for myself, then there's absolutely no way that she's going to respect me and she's gonna fall in love or whatever with me. Like, she's just not going to. And like I said, a woman will know when there's a guy that likes you. Ladies, y'all here, you know what I'm talking about. When a guy likes you, you know exactly how they act around you. You know. So that's what I'm saying. If that's the agreement, yeah, absolutely, then be friends. I have plenty of female friends. And that's how I operate. And I'm friends. I'm okay with being friends. But if I like them and I want to be with them, well, guess what? You're not going to be my friend because I like you in a certain, and it might be unfair for her, but hey, I don't get to control my feelings. But what I do get to control is, look, this is my terms, and this is what I like, and this is what I want. And if you can't give me what I want, then let me walk away. I'm not gonna call you names. I'm just gonna walk away. Now, like I said, you might not like it, or if that's Kiki, if Kiki doesn't like it, then oh well, Kiki doesn't like it. But at the very least, Kiki will respect my decision because she's like, okay, now this guy walked away from me compared to all these other guys that does like me, but they're willing to drop everything in a drop of a hat to fix my toilet or fix my my car, do the oil change. You know, like that's like my intentions is out there. I like you, Kiki. I do like you. Okay? And if that's not how you feel, I'm gonna walk away. That's it. That's it. Now, can you tell me you can't respect a person from that? You might not like it, but you have to respect their decision. All right. Let's see. Hold on, let me see. I'm missing I'm missing a lot. I do have a few more things that I do want to talk about, but let's see. Okay. I have a lot of friends. Quality. True. And the ones I have now, be friends on. In any relationship, if anything is too good to be true, it means it's really too good to be true. Trust your feelings. Gut feelings always 99% of the truth. Um, okay. Let's see. That is unselfish love of you and Kiki. Okay. Well, of course, you both have to have an agreement. Yeah. You and your best friend, 13 years agreed. It would last longer if we stayed friends and we managed this far. But okay, Sarah, let me ask you this. If he is exactly where he wants to be and he's not beating behind the bushes and he's not waiting for his time to show up, or let's just say, and you don't usually, how you could tell is if you do have a guy and you have that guy around your bestie and he's totally okay with that and he's consistent with being okay with that, then yeah, then absolutely. Then I think based off that person, your bestie's options, the way they were, their actions, that's how, then your bestie is actually okay with it. Then your best friend is actually okay with it and doesn't have feelings for you. But if he does have feelings for you and he's hiding all that feelings, then it's not good. It's not good. Because then he's going to sabotage all your relationships. Oh, you shouldn't be with Sarah. Oh yeah, she does all this. So you're saying all these bad things behind your back. That's the last thing you want, is to really have someone that really likes you, but couldn't be with you, but sabotages all your other relationships just because that person's not with you. There are people out there like that. So keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. All right, let's see. Shirley takes time because there's always love and hate. Let's see about there. Kiki, do you love me? That's respect. That is respect, and Kiki needs to understand your decision. Exactly. Kiki might not like it. Like I said, Kiki might not like it, but Kiki will respect it. Communication is key. Speaking up to the people, tell them where they are, cross their boundaries, because some people are narcissists and gaslight you. And I feel like that gaslighting and being a narcissist, those two words specifically, are very popular right now. They're very popular. And it has been popular for a very long time too as well. But there's no like definitive answer for one thing. But there are, I would say there are rules, but not everything is like completely set in stone. So it's important to understand. It's important to understand like there's ways on how you operate. Like I said, if I like Kiki and she just wants to be friends, I'm just gonna be like, yo, Kiki, I don't know if I could just be your friend. I like you. I have to go. I can't be just your friend, because then I'll be dishonest with myself, especially if I'm always around you. I don't want to feel like that. I don't. So Kiki, if you ever decide to, have a second opinion or you change your mind about something, let me know. But I can't be your friend right now. Sorry, Kiki. Wah. Let's see. She's also dating now, and she's awesome for him. Have a lot of toxic behaviors. Yeah, they do. But that's like, those are usually quicker to spot out, because you will feel it. You're gonna be like, I don't feel comfortable being around this person, or this person makes me feel this way, or yeah, like you feel like you couldn't be yourself around someone. Okay, a good way to audit that, like I said before, is imagine this. Imagine once you're around them and you're out of it and you went back home and you're as comfortable as possible. I want you guys, or ladies, to reflect back and be like, were you like, oh, I could finally be myself again. Like, goddamn, like I could finally be myself. Or you're like, you know what? I had a great time with that person. I really did. I was myself, and I don't mind being around that person again. And I'm willing to put my time and effort into even reaching out to that person because I like them so much, or I want to be around them because they made me feel a certain way. Those are huge differences, right? And if you could audit yourself in that, especially in your life, then you would know. But you wouldn't know it if you never gave yourself a chance to look within yourself. You won't know it if you never gave yourself a chance. And that's why everything that we have been doing. Yeah, Kiki misses me now. She's like, oh, I never had a man like that before. Ooh. What was I saying? Shit, I forgot. Damn it, Sarah. Damn it. What if Kiki tells you I like you too, but I'm not ready yet? Then she doesn't really like me that much because she just wants to bridge me along. That's not a direct answer. It's like it's like this. If you really did like me, then yeah. Okay, let's just say she has some things that she needs to figure out because I don't know. Let's make up a story. How many kids? How many kids? And is she still married? Okay, is she currently getting over a divorce? Like, let's make a story up. Let's build this make up Kiki, and let Mitchell be the victim of. I'll be the bad guy. All right, I don't mind being the bad guy. All right, ladies, let's have some fun. Let's do it. All right, let's make up Kiki's story. Okay, and please don't be like she has like 15 dogs or nothing like that. Let's be real. Let's be realistic. Okay, if Kiki says she wants to be with me, but she's not ready yet. Okay, people pretend we have common denominators. What do you mean by that, Annie? What do you mean by that? Okay, not always true. If she likes you, you like her, but she's not ready to date yet due to improving herself. Okay, all right, so that's fair. Okay, if she's not ready yet, then I could still say, okay, Kiki, I know you're not ready, but also I respect myself, right? I'm not telling this to her. I'm not telling this to Kiki. She doesn't know it, right? I'm not just gonna sit around and just wait until you're ready. And you can't be upset at me if I don't want to wait. Okay, let's just say Kiki got out of a bad relationship and she's not ready to be in a relationship. Okay, that's fine. Fair. Okay, she got out of a bad relationship. She feels like she doesn't want to make me feel like a rebound. Okay, but here's the reality. If she's feeling bad and she's feeling all these feelings and she's just not ready yet, then that's fair. I'm not going to force her to be anywhere that she doesn't want to be. But like I said, I still have self-respect for myself. I respect my time. I respect my time and energy. And I'm not just going to sit around waiting on someone to get ready when they're not ready. Especially if nothing is forever certain, right? If she's not even certain herself and she doesn't even know what she wants, how can you expect another person to just sit and wait for you? It's not like this person is my kid. I will always, if I have kids, my kids is gonna come first, no matter what. That's it, bottom line. But this is not my kid, this is not my blood, and you want me to just sit around for a relationship that might hope to happen, I'm not going to do that. And it's because I have more respect for myself. Like I said, Kiki might not like this, but she's gonna be like, all right, I do respect your decision, Mitchell. Yeah, that's it. She might not like it, but she will have to at least, and she knows my intentions up front. Like, let me know when you are ready, but I'm not just gonna sit around, okay? Okay, let's see. And, okay, so, and you say, and let them, and I let them, and I opened up, but end result is that it faded away because they already got what they wanted from me. I am a selfless giver, and you knew that. So Annie, I would actually encourage you to actually be reserved, but don't just be like, oh no, completely F you. And if that's how you feel, fine. I'm not going to tell you how you feel. But what I've noticed is when people become one end and there's like, no, then F this, then I'm just completely on this side. Like F that, like the whole MGTOW community, men go their own way. MGTOW, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but men go their own way. That's when they kind of like F woman, F this, I don't need them in my life, yada yada. I'm like, then how are you gonna reproduce? If that's what you truly want, and if you really truly don't want women and you just want to focus on yourself, absolutely do that. That's how you feel, go for it. But don't hide behind your own feelings, because your feelings are going to tell you what you want. And what you want There's steps to approach that. You're not just gonna express how you feel, because attraction works in certain ways. You're not gonna Hollywood the hell out of her. Hollywood the hell out of her. That's a new hashtag. Hollywood the hell out of her by chasing her, pursuing her. Oh my God, let me chase you down the airport. None of that works, okay? But there are steps to approach that. But if that's your true feeling, like if I like Kiki, I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, let's be friends. Yeah. And then I see her, she's kissing another guy. Oh yeah, that's okay. And I'm like, I freaking hate it, right? Oh, look at her, she's using tongue. Oh my God, I wish it was my face. No, I'm not gonna be a part of that. You guys are laughing, but it's absolutely true. And I wouldn't want to see that if I like Kiki, okay? And if I did see Kiki and that's what she wants, and she wants to stuff her face into another man's face, absolutely, that's fine. But I got to walk away, and I'm not going to disrespect myself. And I have more respect for myself, okay? All right, let's see. Kiki likes J Park, Cheetos, and memes. Okay, okay. And Pokemon. But she doesn't like me, right? That's what she likes. What makes a relationship work are things in common. We got a lot of things in common. Does she like books too? I like books. I like books. But if she has no romantic feelings towards me, then fine. That's fine. That's fair. But I'm not gonna sit around waiting. Can't change good upbringings. Can't change my good upbringings. I'm enforcing boundaries now. Can't change my good upbringings. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Anyways, let me explain. Let me explain a little bit more. I know I went on a tangent for at least like 15 minutes, but consistency. Consistency. So most people focus on the outcome, but the best way to change your habits is by focusing on the person you want to become and become what you want to attract. So here's an example. If you want to run a marathon, then you're not just gonna say, oh, I just want to run a marathon. You're just gonna say, I'm gonna be a runner. I'm gonna be a runner. If you enjoy working out and you want to do certain things, then great, then work out. And then you can say to yourself, I am an athlete. I am an athlete. Mitchell, you are a life coach. And what I want to do as a life coach is I want to provide information and value towards you guys so that you can become better versions of yourself. And if you become the best version of yourself, that will fulfill me. That makes me happy knowing that my advice helped you, because I know that the better it is out there, the more good and bad news always travel faster. But if you are good out there on your own and you're self-reliant, oh my God, I don't even know how it would feel up here. I always talk up to JR about, what's that word? Brain jizz? Brain jizz? Yeah, brain jizz. Wow. Okay. And if you guys or ladies in here like become that person that you always wanted to, and you're in the best place that you ever have in your entire life, then to me that means more than anything. And not to sound a little like, not to stop you from where you're moving, but just remember this too. Remember this. And life always happens this way. No matter how good your life is, no matter how great everything is, one day, somehow, it's kind of like you're going great, out of nowhere, you just get this hit, and it just kind of makes you like, wow, everything just feels like it's falling apart. Everything was going so fine, I don't know what happened, and yada, yada, yada. And that, you have two ways of looking at it. And how you can look at that is, why did this happen to me? Why am I the victim? Or you can say, this is another life lesson for me, and you either learn from inspiration or desperation, and you could get out of it knowing that you got out of it in the beginning. And that's where it comes from. Knowing that you could get yourself out of that situation because you've done that before. I know it's not the most comfortable feeling, but you've done it before and you don't feel good about it inside, but knowing that you're capable of getting out of that same situation or a similar situation, or I felt like this before. It's not comfortable, but I know I could get out of it. And if you could do it once, you could do it again. But life, that's how it kind of operates. It operates from a place where it goes great and something happens. It just something happens. But know that you're also not alone, because you've been here and you've been listening to this and you are becoming the best version of yourself, and you're constantly going to improve. And guess what? The more experience that you get from this, the better you become. Like I said, you're building this habit of becoming this person that is reliant on yourself, and you're just confident of making your own choices, knowing that it's great that I get other people to listen to me, but if I don't have someone to listen to me and I don't have this confidant or whoever, I I am still okay, because I know that I got myself out of this. It's going to take time, but in the meantime, what am I going to do? And like I said, you have more options from there. Do I want to drown myself with junk food and Cheetos? Hell yes, sometimes, Mitchell, you love Cheetos, but not always. So I still work out, I still do my own things, right? Continue doing what is good for you and knowing that. And don't lose yourself in that process, because it's about enjoying that process. And life is too short to be around people that are constantly miserable, and misery loves company. Just sit at a Starbucks and you hear two people that's going at it or whatever, or not having a good time, and or just watch couples down the street. Just watch how are they operating? Are they walking? Is the guy walking behind the woman and she's taking the lead and all this? Like, then you can kind of see what's going on in their lives. All right, let's see. Kiki, do you love me? I still don't know, unfortunately, Mr. Mitchell Tang. What is it that you do not know, Annie? How to know a shy guy would like a woman? Because you can't read minds. Okay. Do you like shy guys? I don't. I think opposites attract in some ways. So usually, a guy that's a little bit more outgoing would usually like someone that's a little bit more shy. Usually, right, and vice versa. But usually, I think, and me personally, I think that the guy should always take the lead. And if he has high interest, or if he is interested and he does want to take you out, then he should have the balls to say, hey, let me take you out to dinner. And if he doesn't know, ignorance is not bliss. He needs to learn. And if he doesn't learn, he's going to miss his chances. And that's why it's so important to understand where you're at. If you don't know where you're at right now in life, become better. So that's why there's always an area of your life to improve on. And here's the great thing. You would never in your entire life run out of ideas of improving yourself, okay? If Elon Musk is still going to Mars, okay, he's going to find another planet, okay? Or he's gonna make one at this point. I don't know. That man is, to say crazy is an understatement, but not to make him seem like he's a bad guy. I don't know, okay? Like I said, you won't be able to run out of ideas on improving yourself. And here's the great thing about this. If you could go to sleep and wake up and when you wake up, you're looking forward to becoming better than you were yesterday or the day before or a week ago, and then you audit yourself from a year ago and where you're at now, like that's, and you have something to keep moving forward, that's where your life of happiness is, because you always have something that you're looking forward to. But you ever been in a place where you woke up and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. And you can see it in their face. The colors kind of faded, like they're a little bit pale, right? They don't eat well. They don't take care of themselves. They're stressed out. They might start yelling at people. Like, no one wants to be around that person. And you wouldn't want to be around that. You wouldn't want to be around yourself, because you're miserable yourself. And a lot of people seek for that, oh, I need help. Like, no, this is self-reliance. You got to help yourself. But just know that you're not alone. And there are places to help you with that. And this is one of those places, because I know you guys like being around here because you get to be better for yourself. And sometimes every now and then you get to laugh a little bit because we got Kiki. Is she our main person that we're gonna use? Is her name Kiki for all examples? Is she always Kiki? And does she love me? Let's see. How do you know? So, any a shy guy, I don't know. If he's too shy and he doesn't have balls to come up to you, do you really want to be around that guy? Because eventually, if you are in a relationship with him, you're gonna have to start doing all the planning and dating. And we all know women, they just, feminine women, they just want to dress up, look pretty, and show up. That's it. Tell me I'm pretty. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Come over here. Let me see that lip. I wouldn't want to see Kiki putting her tongue into another man's mouth, especially when I told her I want to be a friend. I'm not her friend. I'm not her friend. I'm gonna walk away. Let me finish with the summary though. So my summary, after an hour and a half almost, thank you all for staying, appreciate it. Summary, slide number 1, reality through actions. Do I want to be around something or someone like this? Do I want to be around that person that always constantly does not say what they mean to mean what they say? Do I want to be around that? And number 2, am I going to benefit from being around a person like this? Am I going to benefit? Because you have to look out for yourself. Bottom line, you don't want to always be there babysitting and draining yourself. People around you should lift you, okay? Should lift you, or at least have the potential to lift you, okay? And what I mean by that are kids. Kids eventually will lift you, hopefully. I don't have kids, so I don't know. Number 2, slide number 2. People who are devious are good at hiding themselves. Whenever someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. And of course, the sunk cost fallacy, you guys already know it. It's also a part of the reason why most people stay in poor relationships. Number 3, the solution to sunk cost. So there was 2 solutions. You guys could scroll back. I don't want to get too deep into that. Just know that none of the solutions will give you back your time, but just remember that the solution that you have is at least you could choose to have a better, happier future in the future. I said future twice. Okay. This is a sign for Mitchell. You need to hop off. But let me finish. Behavior speaks more truth than words. Respect can only be earned and not given. And this has to be from them. So their perception of you. You're not going to demand respect from them. That's not how it works. Like, if I just see you and if I don't have respect for you, I just don't have respect for you. But if I have respect for you, it's because you earned it. Okay. And lastly is the consistency. And I focused on the 3 layers, right? This reminds me of lasagna, and I'm getting hungry. Layers and layers of lasagna. Okay, so number 1, outcome. Okay. There's 3 layers. There's outcome, there's process, and there's identity. The outcome is what you get. The process is having this routine that you have. And the identity is what you believe and who you become. And what you become is more important than what you get. Jim Rohn. If it's what you believe, you're going to be more grounded as opposed to just focusing on just the outcome. Kind of like that yo-yo diet that I was talking about, where people focuses on just the outcome. And this is where your value sets in. And when you have values and you have goals, and when you reach your goals, it's going to be a lot more meaningful than to just get there, right? So say, for example, you want $1 million. You think $1 million will make you really happy. Guess what? If someone were to drop $1 million into your pocket, you're going to be like, wow, I just got $1 million. And maybe you'd be ecstatic, but you wouldn't really know how to appreciate it. But if you have goals and values, and your value is, I want to be more financially stable because then I could do this when I am there, and this is my goal. And when you reach this goal, number 1, you earned it. And we always appreciate what we earn, which is why in relationships or the dating phase, where the woman should do some work, or if not majority of the work. Okay, let me phrase that. Women should do majority of the work. And the reason why is because if she likes you, the guy would never get turned down. But like I said before, it doesn't matter how much the guy likes you. If you don't like us, there's no way it's gonna happen. So that's why it's always the woman's choice. Woman does the choosing. That's what they do. They do the choosing. It's their choice. Because a guy will always be like, yeah, oh yeah, I'll lay down with you. Yeah, shit. Yeah, let's lay down. But yeah. All right, let's see. No one can lift me. I'm too heavy. What do you mean by that, Sarah? What do you mean by that? Shot. Any. Who's Kiki? I'm not being noticed or just having feelings. I knew this person's psychic abilities. I'm able to pretend we have common denominator to gain my trust. People pretend we have common to gain your trust. I'm done giving people always the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, that's actually that's what I was talking about. Annie, it's like I'm done with this. I'm never like this. It's setting and enforcing boundaries, but also not. But it means that. So this is what it actually tells me, based off your comment. This is what it tells me. It tells me that you're lacking a good plan and an idea of what's been happening. Okay, I don't know if you're joking with me. I don't know. But based off what you told me, you're like, I'm done with this. Like, you went from this end all the way to this end. You're like, screw this. But like I said, if you go from this end to this end, you miss all the great things that could happen for you. And if that's what you want, then that is what you're going to get. But don't lie to yourself at the end. Okay, and that's not for me to decide. It's really for you. But you know, I wouldn't want anyone that's in here that's participating that would not actually get the benefit from that if they could. But at the end of the day, it's still your choice. You get to do whatever you want with who you want, and that, like I said, is your choice. But I do want to see you succeed. Weight and personality. Is that a cat in a box? That's cute. If anyone wants me, then say it and don't let me guess your... There's something in my face. Let's see. If anyone wants me, then say it and don't let me guess what you're thinking. Simple as that. So you want the guy to not be as shy and just be like, come here, girl. Get over here. Yeah. Damn, how do you move like that? Right, you want something like that, right? Let me tell you what, not a lot of guys are gonna do that. And if they do, they might be a little drunk. Yeah, I don't know. Do you go out? Do you attend outing events? Yeah. So what you're telling me is you want a guy that is willing to lead, to take the lead, especially if he sees you and he's like, yum, I want this, right? Not in a perverted manner, all right? Keep your minds out of the gutter, even though you might want to be there. But you want a guy to take the lead. You want him to approach you and just be like, yo, what's up? What you doing? Let's go grab some of this. Yeah, be pretty, dress up. Be a princess. Be a princess. Yeah. So that's what you want, all right? True colors are shown. All right. So, hold on. This is my favorite part of the show. One of the favorite part. I really do like this. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. Do you guys have anything that you guys want to talk to me about? Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything that I could answer for you? Because, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. And I had a lot of fun today. I had a lot of fun. How do you guys feel about it? How do you guys feel about it? You're like, Mitchell, how do you talk so freaking much? How? It was because I like these and I like these topics. And if it could help me, it helps you too. More so for yourself. But a lot of this I learned. Everything just, yeah, I'm going to stop talking. Mitchell's going to stop talking. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a song. This is what I'm going to say. Well, thank you all for attending this IG Live. I know it's been a little over an hour and a half. What time is it? About an hour and a half. It's a very long time. But thank you all for tuning in. Really do appreciate you guys watching all of this. I hope this information is very helpful to you. And if it is, please hit that like, subscribe, share it to your friends. Let them know about it. And if you guys do find this video content of value, you guys could show your appreciation by pledging to me on this Patreon. The description and down below, if you guys are interested, you can click that. Or there's a PayPal link. Send me any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. But until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next live. All right, peace.